Yep.
And it's this thing called the risen method, RISEN, and that's the important part to
Not the
remember.
rhythm method, but the risen method. Right?
The rhythm method, which it's interesting you say that. I at the beginning of the show, I called this Lakeside Park Day. That is something only known to those of us who are Rush fans, the fans of the band Rush.
Okay.
Because there's this song on their third album called Lakeside Park where they talk about the 24th of May, which in Canada, Queen Victoria Day is a celebration. It's now celebrated on the Monday of, not on the 24th of May. So like it's not always, it's not Queen Victoria Day anymore, even though her birthday was that. But the rhythm method for years was the name of Rush's drummer, Neil Peart's drum solo. It's also other things,
of course,
as you might know. Yeah.
It's good.
No, it's the risen method, RISEN.
When you shared it with me, I read it. I was like, yeah, this is so great. Because I've used pieces of this before, as I'm developing prompts and doing things to get the feedback that I want from the AI to help me. And so, I thought this was definitely worth sharing with our listeners first.
It's great. So it's called the risen method because you are using RISEN as your the path through the prompt. So R is role. Establish the AI's role. Things like you are an advisor, you are a creator. A lot of times when I have it building the blog posts for like the podcasts that I produce, I tell it, you are an SEO expert.
Yes, I do the same with you're a marketing expert. Yeah, you're a small business owner. You want, and if you're using the 4 Omni, which is the latest release, it actually has a little thing where it resets itself and says, updated memory. And if you click on it, it'll say, I am a marketing expert or I am whatever. So you're causing it to shift gears based on what you want out of it. Smart.
Yep. And so that's R. The I is instructions or input, the specific question, clarifying, detailing what you want the AI to do with a very clear directive. So the instructions, right?
Yeah.
And then S are the steps. The break down the task into these manageable steps, ensuring like a logical progression through things, things like first, provide an overview, then delve into the details, giving the AI the instructions so that it knows what you want as results.
Yeah. And I've been using it to help create worksheets and, course material for content I've already created. So like a chapter in a book I'm working on, I will tell it, here, I first want you to read this chapter, make sure you understand it. Then I want a 10-step worksheet for a business owner, followed by a 10-step worksheet for an employer that can help teach these tasks. Because it's a different framework of how they're presenting it to it, and it's important. It works.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. And then part of the steps is the next thing, E, the end goal, the expectation, right? What is the objective of this prompt to help guide the AI? Things like, I want to make a brief summary, or I want to make a comprehensive guide. Those are 2 very different outcomes. And, when I build the show notes for like Mac Geek Gab or Gig Gab, you do this show, but when I do the other shows, I say, build me 2 paragraphs. I don't want 5 paragraphs. I don't want 1 sentence. I want 2 paragraphs. When I do the ads, by the way, every ad script that I read and that I have been reading for the last, 3 months, 6 months, maybe, has been written by AI. I've learned that I have to tell it, build me a 40-second ad script. My pacing, I don't know who it thinks would read those ad scripts in 40 seconds. I speak really fast.
Yeah, sure.
And it takes me like, maybe 80 seconds to read, 90 seconds to read.
Yeah.
So I know, all right, build me a 40-second script. Fine. I'm double what you think I'm going to be.
Yep.
How does it know? I'm not going back and giving it, here's the audio file from, now I could with 4 Omni maybe and have it learn me, but
yeah. And really telling it what you need it, what you need the information for is crucial.
Yes.
Like if you're getting help with a social media post, you want short, distinct, answers or sentences or something like that. But if it's for a blog post or a
very different
worksheet, that you've got to tell it what you want. I use it a lot. I use it for the imagery for every episode here of Business Brain and a lot of posts that I do online and other business things. So it's the same thing. In the past, where we've had to go duplicate our efforts, whether it's writing, video, whatever. Now the AI as our assistant is going to create all different forms of what we've done one time. And so it's systemizing the use of our content and helping with distribution. So, and that's a big thing for me next. Like I won't, so.
Yeah, listen, if you're not, the AI is going to do this anyway.
Yes, it is.
Here's the reality, right? All the content that we've created, the 20 plus, almost 30 years of the stuff that we did at Mac Observer, the almost 20 years of the podcast content I've created, the AI is going to ingest that. Not going to. It already has. Right.
Exactly.
And that's fine. But it's going to synthesize all of that and turn it into valuable summaries or things that are valuable to people when they're looking for a specific thing.
So you might as well monetize that.
You might as well get ahead of it.
Yes.
Use the AI to further sort of refine your content or repurpose your content.
Well, like Cast Magic is it's helping me pull out these data points and what are the top 5 topics we discussed in a show and different things. It's also saying, okay, here's a LinkedIn version of that post. Here's an X version of that post. Here's a clip that you can post to YouTube if you want. Here's this. Here's an image with the transcript coming over on top of a picture as we describe a certain topic. And so I've only been messing with it for like 24 hours, and I'm sitting here. I was up till like 2 a.m. working with it last night. I was like, okay,
game changer.
This is incredible. So it was great, and I'm going to be posting my first post on X after we're done with this show, talking about this product, this 3-part product or service strategy that we did a whole episode on.
Yeah, right.
And it just brought it together for me. It's not producing content for me.
No, it's refining what you've already said.
Exactly. And preparing it in different formats. So it's
amazing.
It is amazing. If you want to read about it, go to businessbrain.show. You'll see it in the show notes.
Okay, great.
The link.
Yeah. The last thing in this Risen framework, and it's important, is the N part of it. Narrowing. Because you want to state any limitations, constraints, how you want it formatted. When I do my blog posts for, the podcast, I always say, create me the 2-paragraph blog post based on these chapters. I just feed it the chapters that I create while we're doing the show. I say omit any mention of sponsors. I'm already going to do that separately. You don't need to spend, half a paragraph talking about the sponsors. We've already got that. And don't wrap it in quotation marks. Like if there's formatting things, all of that stuff.
Because you're going to copy it and paste it, and it puts
I don't want to have to go and right. When I do the ad reads, I say make it for one person and no sound effects, because it will list do this sound effect, then say this, do this sound effect. That's not me. Cool. But that's fine, but that's not me. So,
It's great. It's great. It's and I'm a 58-year-old guy. I've been around a long time building businesses, learning this stuff. The first, team app that we deployed at one of my businesses was AOL Instant Messenger. I've been here a long time, and I can tell you that I see it. It's just like I talk about the energy from building something on X, and that I think it's really something unique, and there's a big runway ahead of us. It's the same with these tools that are going to help entrepreneurs and small business owners do far more than we ever could have, and it's exciting, man. The future is bright.